Wow, I'm live on YouTube with the king of Sakalobra, Ed Laverack. How are you?
Where is he? Oh, I'm well. It was how long ago? 2 weeks ago.
Well, it feels like 3 months, doesn't it, to me?
My phone's just been like flat the whole time because I can't afford to switch it on.
Yeah, what's brand deals, sponsorships coming in?
No, in all no, in all fairness, it was it was a lot. It spread a lot quicker than I thought it would. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Oh, we are actually live.
Yeah, I put it live. I don't know if I told you that.
No, I thought it was recorded.
No, yeah, well, that was a lucky start then, wasn't it? No bloody brand deals have come in since getting the Sakalobra on.
I know, I nearly reeled them off then, thinking that we were recording, but no.
So it's been a couple of weeks. You took the Sakalobra. Obviously, you can go and watch like lots of. Hopefully, the sound's all right. Maybe Pam can let us know in the chat if the sound's all right for 3 people watching. Yeah, we were going to record this, and then actually, I looked at my schedule and I thought, actually, I'm not going to be able to edit a 4-hour podcast again and take out all your naughty swear words. So I thought we'd just go live, and if we can't. If we can't, then if you do say something you're not supposed to, then I can just edit it out. So Andy Good's here and Pam's here. So yeah, it's just little debrief. I just thought we've you've been through the Sakalobra and the whole video is up on your channel. You've now hit 15,000 subscribers. So we haven't got any sound effects.
Round of applause.
How does that feel? Because some people hit 15,000 subscribers by getting on a bike or something like that, but not quite. But like you only had to go and get the Sakalobra to get to the what were you on to? About 12? Was it 13 before?
I think it was just below 14, so it must have been like 13,700 or something. But
have you had lots of new people come in? Lots of new faces, or like in the comments and stuff that you've like?
Well, yeah, definitely in the comments. Particularly on that video. Well, that video now has surpassed the hill climb 2019 hill climb win. So, like, thankfully, at last, something has surpassed it. Because like that hill climb win was an organic video, and if this hadn't have surpassed it, then you'd be like, "What the heck is you two doing?" Like,
you were gonna jack it in.
Well, it's yeah. There was like at first, I think there was hundreds of comments, and I would say 90% I didn't recognize, or like they hadn't commented many times before. So yeah, it was really good.
15,008. Am I allowed to share? I'm just checking. There's no. I don't think there's any money there.
There's no money anywhere.
There's no money anywhere.
Yeah. We were saying it's gone. Like, was it 100? It was roughly 100 subscribers a day for maybe 7 to 10 days afterwards. On average, so it's been a fairly big bump. So
and it's only taken you one video to do it. One video, one ride.
Yeah, not quite. It's funny how like I've got, goodness knows how many videos are on there now. It's like 1,200 or something maybe, but I notice it's quite a fair bit more than most. I know a lot of them can be live streams and stuff, but yeah, like, I'm considering like what it took to train for that blooming thing as well. Like, it's not just a case of like, oh, look at this, we've made a video. It's like, no, the training was actually, the video is like, in my eyes, the video is just a vlog.
just the video is just a byproduct of the day. Yeah. So obviously, as you most 2,000 likes, that's brilliant. I mean, I can tell you probably who voted that down. Phil Guyman. No, you're getting lots of people compare and saying, "Oh, you should go and race Phil now." Has like, obviously it's blown up, not blown up. I wouldn't say blown up your channel, but it's got a fair few more well-deserved subscribers. And we always think anyone that's watching this probably thinks you're underrated as a content creator and deserve 100,000 subscribers at least. How has it changed with like brands and everything like that? Like, have you been contacted by new companies? Have you felt that like maybe some brands tagging you that you wouldn't have originally and stuff? Or
well, I've been tagged in a lot of stuff. Instagram, like Instagram mainly. I've been tagged in. What's really nice, actually, away from the brands, is people have been tagging me, like when they've been up the climb, say a couple of days later, or even a couple of days before, they've gone back and they've tagged their own post, which just had like 4 likes, and like they've said, you know, oh, I went up there 3 days before Ed took the key away. It's almost as if like there was that rift, like the break in like the timeline, and like when the day it happened, people are like, I was there 3 days before it happened. So they go back and they tag me in the post, and then I comment and I give them a like and say like, like congratulations on your effort as well. But maybe not so much brands come into me, but they've definitely acknowledged it and actually like, either physically send an email and said, congratulations on achieving it, or offering to help out a bit more. So not so much more brands, but more help then, or at least offering that if there was anything else or extra they could help with, then yeah. So
obviously, then you. I've got a few questions that I've pulled out here that you can probably see on screen. There's someone that's saying about the bike. Like, do you feel like how? Obviously, straight away you get people that have said, "Oh my God, he's done it on disc brakes," and you had a few comments. I think like Durham Rider said, "You should have ridden a race with 1,000-gram tubs and really put the target harder to beat." Obviously, doing it on disc brakes, like if the record was set 2 months ago before you went and broke it on rim brakes, and you went and broke it on disc brakes, do you think it would have been like a bigger part of it? Like, I don't feel that many people have picked up that you were on disc brakes, or not that you're on disc brakes, but like the actual, not the reason behind it, but you didn't choose disc brakes, have you?
No, but I think if you look how old the KRM was, it was like 6 or 7 years. They were on rim brakes then, weren't they? They were racing on rim brakes.
Yeah, it would have been rim brakes then, yeah.
So like all the Sky Riders, there must be like 3 of them, I think, in the top 10. They would have all been on rim. And then looking at the other people who are in that top 10, there's a couple that are quite recent, like in the last 2 years or so. Chances are they're probably on disc. So I am the fastest person up Sacalobra on disc. but like but
you're the fastest person up Sacalobra. Like, it doesn't matter, does it, if you're on discs or what? But
it also doesn't matter. Like, looking back on it, and it's not something that I've said because it doesn't really need to be said, but I know I could have gone faster. Anyone that's followed along the last couple of weeks, they would have seen the time trials that I was doing on those Thursday nights, and I've done more power in the weeks leading up to that, what I did on Sacalobra. It's more like when I woke up that morning, or not even that morning, but I was actually getting quite worried that I wouldn't be able to do the performance because it's so early in the day. Like if you do a Zwift race and you're like, oh, I'll do it in the evening, but then I'll do a Zwift race in the morning. You're like way more G'd up for that one in the evening, or at least you feel, not so much more awake, obviously, because you've had the whole day, but you just feel like primed and ready to do it.
A Trainer Road podcast once that said, like, on average, 5 p.m. is the perfect time to do races, because that's the time. I mean, obviously everyone's different. There's lots of people that don't like racing later, and people like racing in the morning. But it gets everything flowing, doesn't it? By that time at 5 p.m., you've got everything in your system. And you had that ride out there, which a few people have picked up on. But for you, that was just a good warm up, I assume. Or maybe mental focus, was it?
Yeah, because a few people asked me if I wanted to ride out with them, and only one person actually came. Well, there's 3 people, but there's the van. So 2 people came in a van, and one person rode. Funny enough, funny story. The guy that rode, you see in the picture, I'm blanking on his name now. He's from the Netherlands, so he was unfamiliar with the mountains. But he caught me on the climb from not the one from Palenza, the one that comes up from you know, the one up to the petrol station.
Yeah.
Look, that's the one.
Yeah.
So he
or whatever.
Luke. So I could see him down below on the hairpins, and I was doing a warm up on the way there. I was doing an effort, and then I parked up. I was like going quite slow to just save myself, and he caught me, and he did like a bit of a double take, and he was like, Ed, and I was like, yeah, it's me. And he was like,
hi, Dave. No.
So
and now you can't even remember his name.
His name is in my description of the video. I have got his name, but I'm blanking on his name right now. So, yeah, you'll find it.
Mike?
Should say
James.
Mike.
Oh no, Mike James.
And James.
Mike James.
So yeah, I just ended up riding maybe the last 20 minutes with him, but it was kind of nice to not have anyone to ride with anyway, because I needed a little bit of like me time. And I would have liked to have ridden back with like a bunch of people, but I realized that like it was quite early in the morning, and when I go back to Palenza, I realized just how many people were out there like riding their bikes, but they just weren't sort of that was going to be too early. You know, 8 o'clock on Sacalobra is like.
From what I saw, because like there's a few Minehead folk out there. From my point of view, they're going out there to do the 312, getting out to see you on doing the Sacalobra once in a lifetime opportunity that they've just missed. But like at the end of the day, like they've got to then make sure they're prepped for their event, aren't they? And maybe that's not getting up at 5 o'clock, even though it's the food the night before that you said about is important. Then it's not the most beneficial for 312. Yeah. So then going back to the bikes, Pam in the chat said, Hope Factor will use your com to promote their bikes. Have you had any good sort of feedback? Have you got someone said in the let me just get their name up. Okay, so Big T said, Chapeau, Ed, Barnier must be very proud of you. Do you think the Factor bike made a big difference to you this year? Obviously not a big fan, because you've only been riding it a couple of weeks. Mentally, did you think did it have an effect? Like, obviously it's got discs, but there's many other benefits over different equipment you've had before than just weight and stuff like that. With the electronic gearing that you're a clunker, so
yeah, I'll try not to lay it on too thick. Well, given the margin was 18 seconds, and I don't know which way to look at that. I don't know whether to look at it as like a big margin or a small margin, to be honest. But given that I was down on power a little bit, then you have to think like, well, other things played their part to get me up that climb as fast as that. It wouldn't have. I don't think it would have been possible to do it on a bike that weighed a kilo more. Put it that way, like. Even 500 grams, I think, because things did go well. Like I was like bang on with my nutrition. I was like there or thereabouts my weight. My power was great. my toilet in the morning before I left was brilliant, and like nothing.
Didn't see that on Instagram.
So like in terms of like the prep, it couldn't have gone any better. So like on the day, power was slightly down, but then the equipment didn't fail, and it was like, I don't know, it must have been about, with everything off at the top of the climb for me to descend, which was a little bit sketchy because I was in a skin suit. And that bike, when you take everything off that bike, I think you realize just how much it is built for just going uphill. I've joked about it. I've said it turns anybody into a climber, but maybe not so much a climber, but it certainly makes you feel like what it must be like. Yeah. And I'm sure like there's aerodynamic bikes built for, big Mark Cavendish sprint finishes, or, Scott sprint finishes. So it's it was just like the hairpins, which are quite tight on Sacalobra. You aren't moving that fast. I know I was doing about 20 kilometers an hour on the steeper sections, plus the hairpins. You feel like the slingshot, because some of them, they level off. So you come into the hairpin, and then as you come out of the hairpin, the gradient drops slightly, and that's when you could feel it. You could feel like, well, I need to drop down like 2 gears like straight away just to sort of keep up with the bike as it sort of pulls away. But what else though? I mean, tires. Well, I was riding tires that I knew would get me around the 312 as well. Now I probably would have put like slick, like, time trial, really super lightweight clinchers on there.
Yeah.
Those are just the 5000s with, I know they got Tubolito light tubes, but you could have gone lighter with the tires.
What if you'd go out again, then what would you do differently to improve it? Would it just be, technically take the GoPro off, change tires? What?
I think there isn't much. I mean, if I was to do it, this was more a case of, we're going there for 312. What can I do on Sacalobra? If I wanted to, like, Charlie would sacrifice a day, and she would have like come along, and we would have taken like everything off. We would have taken bolt cages, we would have taken the bolts out, we would have taken the handlebar tape off. We would have, like, do it as you would a British typical hill climb, and then see what you could do in it. And I know people would say like, well, that's not the point. Like, you can't just, but I don't care now, because I've set a time on it that I know with almost the bare minimum, that's the time I can do. But what time can I do if I'm not carrying a 200-gram GoPro up? If I'm not, bolt cages are nothing, but aerodynamically it could save you a lot. It's funny because I was wearing aero socks as well, and it with the wind and the sections on the bottom slopes of Sacalobra where like you're doing like I'm doing close to 30k an hour. So like it's just marginal gain. I mean, if you've got it, use it at the end of the day. Like, if you think it's going to save you something, it's not going to do any harm, unless your socks weigh like 50 grams.
but mentally, like, it gives you a good boost, and like, I know when I've worn them for a TT and stuff, it's kind of like on a road bike, I slipped under like 59 minutes 58 seconds, and you just think, well, if I wasn't wearing them, like, and then there's no excuse. But on the day, you did everything you wanted to do, and apart from wearing Oakley glasses, which isn't a sponsor, is it?
No.
So you've given them all that free coverage. It's nice to see, like, when we went over there in 2015 and a few other times, like, you always look at the leaderboard, you always put a time up, and it is such an important, it's my favorite climb. And I don't like climbs, but it's my favorite climb, and I went and did it early one morning and bumped into Shane Sutton at the bottom. It's a magical cycling hill, isn't it? And to see your name at the top. And a lot of people in the comments and stuff were saying, you know, oh, Welshman in the top 12 of the thing. And it must be pretty. Let's go for a couple of comments then. So During Rider, solid watts per kilo, bro. Not many on the planet can do that. You should have ridden a race with 1 kilogram tubs and really put a target hard to beat. Again, to me, you did, like you said a minute ago, you've done what you wanted to achieve. Yeah, you can go back and have a crack at it in full full hill climb ed mode, but you've got no regrets from the day. Ben Foster, I think he's a Zwifter, C Race Zwifter. Massive effort, ridiculous numbers. I'll be buzzing with double the time when we go. Well done. Lots of people seem to be focused on double the time, don't they?
Well, I think double the time is the average time. The average time of most people.
Okay.
Up. So like with Alp to Zwift, there's an average time for that. I think that's about 50 minutes. No, I could be wrong there, actually. I'm sure it might be about the hour mark, something like that for Alp to Zwift. But I think 50 minutes is like a time that everybody tries to beat on Sacalobra.
40 is what I want. 40 is a. You always want to go under the next one, don't you? So I mean, my time is 42, and you want to get that. Yeah, you want to get under that next one. But it was quite sad that we sort of, if I was to go over now and do 42, I'd be, I'd be celebrating at the top probably more than you.
There wasn't really much of a celebration when I got to the top because I didn't really know if I'd done it or not.
Well, in your video, you did sort of. Did you know? Obviously, the trouble is with Strava segments. As a pro com hunter, you can press lap whenever you want, but actually you don't actually know the precise moment. There could be a line on the floor and stuff, and you could go to that signpost. But technically, until you upload, like I went for one the other day, trying to Dan, one from GCN presenter Daniel Lloyd, and stopped before it finished, and it was 40 minutes, where the segment was a minute and a half. So I know, and I was devastated, but I can go. So it's on my doorstep. I can go and get it again. So
was there a pub at the end of the segment or something?
Yeah. You know what Dan Lloyd's like.
Yeah.
But how confident were you had it at the top when you got to that signpost?
Well, so I pressed lap maybe 4 or 5 seconds before I got to the sign, which I thought is where it started. And I was about right with that. And then the top, well, when I was coming back down the hill, I saw there was a line. So I went to the actual, where the sort of road cuts through that little bit of rock. Just there. But the line on the road is like way back, like 6-7 seconds before you get to that. So the 6-7 seconds there, plus the 5 or 6 that I started at the bottom, it's 15-ish seconds or so. I took it by 18, but I knew my lap time was under 25. But I knew the KOM was 24:55. So it was no good to me. Like, I knew I was under, but I didn't know if I was like under by 2 seconds or under by 10 seconds. The only thing I had to go off was the average speed. My average speed was like 23k an hour, like on the dot. And the com was like 22.4. So I was sort of, you probably could say I was 90% confident I had it based on the average speed. But you never know with the GPS, do you? So, the stopwatch is a stopwatch at the end of the day. So, I didn't know until, honestly, we waited until we got to that cafe, which is about 2 hours later, and I pressed save. So I could have pressed delete.
You're not. Yeah, but were you just walking around for 2 hours with that in your hand, like your Wahoo? Because imagine putting it down and just go, oh God, where is it? And you just think, no, I can't. For 2 hours, you just nursing it. Obviously, you had to cycle back, didn't you? John in the chat says, yeah, most of my Strava comms I can't use live segments because they're normally negative gradient and they don't allow that anymore, which is very annoying. John says, Scott, can't you run live segments? Did you not run live segments then on your?
So I started, but it obviously didn't sync across.
Right.
So that's
okay.
my.
So you're going to get
my fault.
Wait for the Garmin sponsorship or.
Yeah, no, terrible, Wahoo, terrible.
Yeah. No, it is interesting though. And do you think that would have, no,
I think it would have put me off. I think it would have put me off.
Knowing that you were, you could just
it would have
ride
been
your own.
It would have been close, like all the way up, no doubt. Like it would have been like there wasn't a section where I must have put like, oh, there's me putting like 7 seconds into Hinau, like on one. It must have been like it would have ticked like 1, and then like 2 minutes later 2 seconds. Like that's the sort of, the gap would be increasing by a second every like 3 minutes. So like that in my head would be like I'd be like, oh, this is close.
Yeah. Have you done this yet?
No, actually, I've not looked at it. But
that's me and you. So you could have done it. Yeah.
Oh, this would be interesting actually, because I know where the wind was. So if you were to compare with,
well, it's down on there as well.
With Sebas.
I'll take me out of it, because.
Excuse it.
Yeah. Oh, so he started off quicker.
So that tells me that potentially they had a lead out. Yeah. You never know, they do, because they don't share anything, and then they don't like. This was prior to Tour de France. Well, this January, innit? So like they won't be like doing Tour de France lead out trains, but they'd certainly be practicing probably just the formation and stuff.
And that's the big drop there. Was that a bit of tailwind for you, or do you think it could have been a bit of traffic for him, or?
Might have been traffic, actually. Now, isn't that where the arch is, where the squeeze?
I reckon it could be. Maybe maybe it could be, because I don't know what time they did it.
Although, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because if you look at the rest of it, eventually I would still have.
Yeah, evens. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, for him to get that, maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's even a little bit of GPS to gain that much back on you that quick. I don't know. It might even be. You got to think as well.
Or they were doing like a race simulation, so they started hard and someone attacked, and then it all eased up, and then Sebas went.
He thought, actually, I've had a good start here.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, I'm on for the comm. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going."
Who was it? David Lopez. He took it off. Yeah, I think David Lopez, 2015. Boswell, 2015. Yeah, because David Lopez was at the top when I went over there. Yeah, so very 14 seconds there.
I was surprised, actually. I took the comm for the last bit, and I was absolutely I was going in and out of consciousness.
He got you on the sprint finish, look.
Yeah, it was a headwind for that last bit.
Yeah. Interesting though. So if you're on Strava, you can go and sit. You can actually go and race Ed Laverack up the thing. So that I don't know if would that be a flat out 400 watts for Dan Evans? When was that?
That's pretty much flat out, yeah.
2021. There's my mate, Conk.
That's my birthday. Is it July 27th? 3 minutes difference. Oh, plummet neck. Oh, is that Piglet's fastest ever time up there this year?
Yeah, it should be fastest ever time altogether, yeah.
Oh.
It's just interesting. Who's that orange? Simon Richardson. So Dan, neck and neck halfway up, and then Dan just, I don't know if Dan was,
400 watts is pretty hard.
Yeah.
He'd been going somewhere to. to 400. May not be flat out, but they're certainly close to it.
Yeah, so you can just go and Illy's been caning it around Exmoor recently, taking all the quants. Dunkery, she smashed Dunkery.
Getting that out there, go on.
Yeah. Nat's local legends is gone. So yeah, amazing to see Ed Lavrack at the top of the leaderboard. Let's go back to the questions because there's a question.
Couple of months time now, we'll be on Alpe d'Huez. We'll have Roman Bardet on the call.
Another 40,000 viewed video. Cameron Jeffers says, fantastic ComEd. I think he's a YouTuber. Fantastic ComEd. Well done. I reckon you can beat Wigo's all-time record next. So obviously there has been some controversy in the hill climbing Facebook group and everything else, sort of saying that, well, it's not the fastest time up there, is it? Hearsay that Bradley Wiggins went
2 minutes
22 22:30.
Yeah, but it's a myth, isn't it? Like, whereas there's no, I know we can joke like, oh, if it's not on Strava, it didn't happen, but there's actually no data anywhere. Like, it's not even on Strava. It's not even on a website where someone's uploaded it. But to be honest, like you said earlier about what's the next thing? Like, if you did a 40, you'd want to do like a 39. Well, Wigo's 22 minutes. Like, well, you try and aim for that, don't you? But in my mind, it's like to go 2 minutes quicker than what I was doing up there. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. No joke, like, but it may well be something they do. Is they'll motor pace up a climb. They'll get a little Vespa and they'll do like 20 mile an hour up a 7% gradient because you still get the draft, and they'll just try and hang on to it. I wouldn't be surprised if so, because if you look at Dan Evans' time and that's 3 minutes quicker there, like you'd have to be railing it, like even on those corners, because the hairpins are quite slow going uphill. You just have to be, but I'm not saying he hasn't done it. I just say like it'd be nice to have a bit more context on how he's done it. Yeah, the only
and he will know, wouldn't he? But like the only thing I've sort of seen is I don't know if it is Boswell, but like or one of the other like Sky riders was saying that when they used to go for it, it used to be they knew that their Sky timed section was shorter, so he had to go past their sort of finish to get to get a good time on Strava. And I think it's like online somewhere that I've read that recently, and it said, oh yeah, we had, you have to go past where we used to stop. So I don't know. Like, I'm not saying that they stopped like 2 minutes down the road, but like could be
that matches up with something that I heard from a local on the island who said that some people finish their effort at the bridge. Where,
just go through
the arch, like that's where they stop, which, well, I suppose makes sense because when I went over, if you actually go, because again, where the line on the road is, that's not even the top is another 10 seconds. I went to the top, but then I quickly realized I had nowhere to stop. Like, I had to kind of go to the other side of the road, and there was like a big cliff. Like, so I realized, like, if people are coming up here and it's a regular thing, as someone else has said, or a few people have said, like, what makes it an official, like, what's the official thing? And to me, it makes more sense to finish it, obviously finish it at the top, but like in terms of like, collapsing, or like, people having a car there, or, food or whatever, that's the largest like lay-by section is by that. The archway. That's the famous, like, where we had that photo for the thumbnail. That I got someone from Fiverr to develop the thumbnail.
but like, we said about that, didn't we? Maybe that's a video for another day. But like, it's kind of like I feel a lot of pressure when I design thumbnails for like YouTubers and stuff like that. But like almost like that's one thumbnail. Like almost there's no pressure whatsoever, because I knew whatever we could upload a picture. Like I said to you, I literally said to you, we could upload a picture of a dog turd, and it would still be the click-through rate would still be like, you can't get it wrong. Like it's an interesting one, isn't it? And then the second one, we could maybe go through like the idea, because and the idea was to change it as well, wasn't it? Like I was gonna say, that's fine for week one. I should have pulled up the graphic, but it is what it is, isn't it? It's you coming through the archway, and I think anyone that knows cycling sort of knows that image anyway. You got a crown over your head. You're wearing com orange. Thanks for wearing com orange. But yeah, you know what I mean. If you had your skin suit on for that photo, which you did the ride in, it's not that good a. Do you know what I mean? It's like there'll be something missing there, but like it'll be hard to pick you out. So even just you chucking the orange, not that you did it for the thumbnail, you were chucking it on for the sponsors. But it does just sort of help, and we come up with a few options, didn't we? And you haven't seen all the options that I came up with even. So and then obviously the one where you just upload the whole ride, which should 19,000. So within a couple of weeks, it probably your hill climbing one. These videos are like timeless, aren't they? Eventually that video is going to be 1 million views, that top one, because people are going to go over there and they're going to click on, you've linked it through from your Strava ride, I assume, and stuff like that. They're going to click through and they're going to find it, and hopefully YouTube sort of serves it up. But yeah, that was the other one with you chasing the crown, and it's just nice to have some good photos.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, James was there from Ride Harder, and he had his posh camera, and he just, well, funny enough, he was staying at the same hotel, and I could have just got in a van with him to get a lift there, but no, he met me there, and blow my neck.
Sorry. Go on. No, go on. Say about the photographer. I don't want to.
Yeah, well, it was just nice, because otherwise it would have been difficult to really see what we would have used from that day, aside from like maybe a shot from the GoPro and of coming through the arch, maybe, and people hopefully may have recognized the arch. But I mean, you think about it as well. How often do you get a chance to stand in that arch? Like, I must have been stood there for 5 minutes. Like, people taking photos. I was stood there for 5 minutes, and not one car came through. And I was thinking, if we were here like 1 p.m., I would have I'd be roadkill.
Not even cars, cyclists, like
nothing.
Yeah, I've got a shot of one of the Minehead guys coming through, like just round the bend, and like just nothing in the background and stuff, and like and then you get back, and that was a busy day, and you just think. And he's like, "How did you manage that?" I was like, it wasn't even a try. It was just like I was stood there and just snapped him. But I think you can tell from Phil's video what Sacalobra is really like, and when it's busy, and the only way to go and do an effort like that. And if you want to go down and have some fun, you say about people cooking your brakes, if you're not that well skilled at going downhill, you almost have an option some of those days when you're going down Sacalobra and you've got buses and don't forget, you get a lot of, not to just poo-poo on drivers. Whenever I've had issues in Mallorca with drivers, and like people like coming to a stop to take a photo, and you sort of see and you're like, oh my God, and you sort of have to go out around them. It's usually the hire cars, isn't it, that you always have problems with, or don't know how to drive those roads. And the locals keep well away from you. They'd rather smash into a car on the other side of the road than take you out. With the laws over there, but it's a magical place. If you can get if you've been or you're going to Sacalobra or Mallorca and you want to do Col de Rey, like you have to and we've done it with a club ride. You go out on day 2, smashed your legs in too hard. But I went back out 4 days later and went and did it almost by myself. So you can't, if you can get out there early, it's a magical experience going down there. It's a dreamlike experience, isn't it? You're probably more worried about obviously what you're going to do coming back up, but you must have taken a moment just to appreciate. Not a lot of people get to do that.
Yeah, I was more worried about freezing my nuts off going down and then having cold legs for the first like 4 minutes coming back up.
Yeah, because then what they need to do is set up some. There must be some kind of like these outdoor gym equipment where you've got like a bike and stuff like that. Or they should have some turbo trainers that are sort of molded into the ground, so you can just chuck your bike on, warm up, and then go. Because you haven't got much room there to warm up, have you?
When that Kicker bike sponsorship comes through, we'll
yeah. Well, the Zwift bike sponsorship's gone now, isn't it? No more Zwift bike. Yes. So let me just get back to I'll just make sure if there's any other ones. So you are going to go for Wiggo's time. That's an official exclusive for Backpedal YouTube channel, is it? 2022,
yeah,
2023.
Yeah, we need a tailwind. We need a Vespa.
I'm sure if you do it, or if we do a build up to it, we'd have to get Wiggo on a chat and just say, "Did you really do it?"
Well,
did you?
Wiggo rides a Factor, so
yeah,
we can do a
who else
me
rides
versus.
Factors?
I don't know. Maybe we can do me versus Wiggo up the climb and see if he's still got it.
Wiggo at the moment will beat you down the climb.
He probably would actually, yeah.
Yeah. Probably beat me down the climb as well. Yeah.
Who else rides Factors?
Any other hill climbers?
Dylan Johnson.
So everyone's saying it, like obviously in your comments and stuff. Can we have a Phil Guyman race off and stuff? Do you think Phil? Obviously, from the outside, I felt early on, like, and I said to you, I felt early on that the British media didn't quite pick up and run with it quite quickly or something. And I said to you, and then like there's a few more of the magazine sites that sort of did the story and everything, and it like felt to me. Obviously, it goes through Twitter, doesn't it? Like wildfire, and Facebook was on fire. Who's messaged you, like, other than the comments? Has anyone sort of messaged you and say like well done, or like you don't have to say names, but has there been anyone that you sort of wouldn't normally sort of interact with, like Phil Guyman or Chris Froome?
No Froome he hasn't. I think it's because I did it on disc brakes, but I think there was a fair few, but the issue is Guyman didn't reach out, but a couple of days later I was having a cookie in a cafe, so I just did the usual thing of like posting a picture of the cookie to my stories and tagging the Cookie Monster, and he rated it like a 4 out of 10, but I give you an extra point for the KOM. So he knows the KOM, but he didn't like say.
Unless he's on about the Park House Road KOM on the hybrid bike, which you still haven't got.
I can second.
That must have been on your head going up Sakalopra again. The only time we get the drone out to film a com hunt, and I come second on a hybrid bike.
If I was on a hybrid bike now, I would breeze this.
Yeah. So no GCN contract coming up for a new GCN Plus documentary, or
no? Ollie Bridgewood sent me a message. A guy called VC. VC didn't even message me.
VC didn't message you. He's been too busy with his nice new thumbnail.
No, not really. No, not there was a few, but not from the people who I thought might have. Maybe they have seen it and they're just not. It's just sort of come up on their feed or they've seen it, but they've not actually seen it. Like I was a bit surprised to see, well, Duran Rider commented on the video, but that's not a surprise. He's commented on one or two of the sort of high performance type videos.
I was surprised he hasn't made a video about it, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I don't know. People probably see it as like, well, how do you pick holes in it if it's genuine? It, like if I was not a nobody, but if I didn't have 1,200 videos backed up and everything on Strava and you know, a pro cycling stats account, like then
Yeah.
I think people would be like, you know, oh, we'll make a video about this. Ed
Maybe
Lavrak,
disc brakes.
unknown Welsh cyclist takes, you know, but it doesn't sort
Yeah.
of.
And I guess with the disc brakes, like we were saying before, like the disc brakes, because it's like I say, if someone did it last year on a rim brakes, but the gap of when the time was set was so long, no one was on disc brake. There's no like comparison because they were on rim brakes and back then, and it wasn't like if it was done on rim brakes 6 months ago and you've gone and done it on disc brakes, I think it would have then thrown up the kind of disc brake thing. But also, they know that I don't know. You seem to come back with the disc brake things like, well, that was the bike that I rode the 312 on, and that was the bike that. Do you know what I mean? It's not. It's a bike to ride hills, but it's a bike to do lots of other stuff as well.
Yeah, it's a bike to ride, basically.
Yeah.
Not to like look at and ride for like a month of the year.
Oh, okay. Mick MGB says, "Well done, awesome com." There's so many comments that just says "well done," like that's not so many comments that just say "well done," but like there's so many comments that just completely gush all over the all over the thing. But like there's one. So there's plenty of comments. Just a couple like that caught my eye. Okay, so he would like to see you race maybe Chris or a national 10/25 mile TT. Obviously, factor. Knowing that you've given good coverage and you've already been a good ambassador for them, are they sending you loads of stuff now? Are they going, oh, where do we deliver the TT bike and stuff like that?
When I announce I'm going for the hour record.
Yeah.
Well, that was a delivery I just had of a bike that'll see me around this event on the weekend, hopefully. The Factor LS, which is like the all terrain, all road bike. Whatever name.
Are you allowed to say that now? Was it Factor LS?
LS. Am I allowed to say what?
That you've got that bike?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not brand new. It's been ridden from the start of this year, as far as I'm aware, by one of the guys there. So they very kindly passed it on because I did say I do need something just to train on, you know, on the harshest of days. Not to say that the van is no good at that, but it just gives me that peace of mind.
You can't, as a Welshman, you can't ride Dura Race around those Welsh roads all year round, can you?
No, Dura Race 12 speed. I don't think it's quite made for Welsh.
The Welsh club riders would just be like, Ant would just be like, "What are you doing, mate? Like, where's your 105?"
No offense, Shimano. No offense. It is built to do it, but I just can't bring myself to do it. But there's 35 mil. You probably would call them gravel specific tires on there. They're Panarace Gravel Kings Plus. I know there's a plus on there, but they're a little bit knobbly. I've ridden it a couple of times, and you know, I got to be honest. Like, you know, people talk about rolling resistance and stuff. I don't really care. It feels like really comfortable, and I think for 1,000 kilometers, I'm more worried about comfort than I am speed. I can feel the only difference is the stem is 20 mil shorter, just because I didn't have my size there, but it's okay anyway because it's actually nicer to go shorter than it is longer when you're doing off-road or comfort. So it actually feels quite nice. I feel more sort of sat on it rather than over it. And well, yeah, first impressions, it's just really nice. But yeah, the GRX that Ben's just said there, it's my first time using GRX. I really like the shape of the hoods. I know I got small hands, but like it's a handful to grab, which is nice. I suppose it's quite a good bit of security when you're off the road. There's a couple of bits on this route, see, on the weekend that are well, some of it's on sand and beach, so you know, it might come in handy there.
Yeah. So have you just got? I don't know why chain reaction came up and not wiggle.
Oh,
there goes the brand deal. Same company. It doesn't matter. Wiggle.
that's
CRC.
mechanical anyway. This is electronic.
You got electronic on it, have you?
Oh well, I've moved up in the world now.
Oh yeah, not going back to the old peasants. Oh, now you've experienced it. You just don't want to go back. It's amazing though, isn't it? So. Have you just set your going up Sacalobra? Have you just left it as, you know, traditional gearing, as in traditional functions on those buttons?
Yes.
So big one, change one. You haven't done synchro, semi-auto. We did talk about this in a pre-recorded video, didn't we? Before you went. But do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah, but we only cut out a little bit of that to use, and then I've actually got a load of stuff from that one. But there was something that happened which didn't happen. We talked about it never happened, so I didn't want to include that. Anyway, but we have talked about that before, so maybe we'll break that bit out. But you just stuck with this, you haven't gone synchro, semi-synchro, or anything like that.
Well, so the dude that was riding it has obviously very likely got his own setup. And so how it's set up is I'm not sure what gear it is exactly, but on the front I've got it's like 4831, I think, is the
Okay.
So it's like the 48 is really nice actually. Mainly because like you find yourself like quite far down the block. But yeah, when I'm in the small ring and I'm going sort of over the top of a climb and I'm just going over the top of it, if I go down the block too far, it'll pop me onto the big ring and bring me back up the cassette without me doing anything. So that's my first experience of it, and I was really shocked when it happened.
Yeah.
I was like, "What's going on?" I thought my chain was coming off, but no, it was the group set putting me onto the big ring and taking me back up the block.
To make it in.
Yeah, it was really smooth, almost to the point where I didn't notice it. But I can see it'll be nice to have that where I'm going to be making thousands of gear changes, and I'm also going to be cresting thousands of climbs, you know, tens of climbs. So I'll be able to save myself from going into the big ring.
There we go. So how long have you had this bike?
A couple of days.
So you're going to jump on a brand new bike. That's a great title.
Well, at the end of the day, the position is exactly the same, except it's a couple of mil.
Yeah, it's shorter.
Less in terms of reach. So it's actually closer to my old setup than the new setup is to my old setup. So yeah, it's at the end of the day, I know, you wouldn't recommend that to a lot of people, but when you've ridden a bike almost every day for the last 12 years, then it's very difficult to get injured because you're so used. First of all, you're so used to the movement. Second of all, you're so used to the position. It's it's one of those things. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it, obviously.
No, but yeah, for a great video title, it will be I rode 1,000 kilometers on a bike I've ridden twice.
So what sort of thumbnail do you want me to get from this then? Do we go with the
Well,
Indiana Jones theme again?
Yeah, Indiana Jones theme again. It's just like drag it. What was that dragging across? That was across Wales, wasn't it?
I don't know. It's 300k something.
Oh yeah. Well, this would just be. Well, again, it's one of those videos. It's one of those thumbnails you ain't got to worry about. I just you worry about your battery life. But yeah, someone's saying what Joshua Davis says. What com are you going for next?
Well, the next official one in the what did we say we were going to call the series? Was it Climb Ed?
Oh mate, I went through all your comments and I was just like, you had about 10 million suggestions on it.
Michael Harron, his comment got a lot of likes, and I think that was Climb Ed. So Climb Ed series. The next official one, I suppose, is Alpe d'Huez, which I still feel like I sound a little bit like a bit of a douche canoe, in the words of Vegan Cyclist, for like for even sort of saying that out loud. It still sounds Epic Adventures. That's the one. That's the name of it. Yeah, it still sounds a little bit crazy if I say it out loud, but if at the end of the day, a lot of them have done that at the end of Tour de France stage. A lot of the people are up there on that leaderboard. So in some respects, I know it's harder because of heat and because of altitude and other stuff as well. But in some respects, it's almost a little bit easier than Sacalobra because it's
location.
Well, it's one that most people do when they're tired, not when they're fresh.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So there were some Ed's Epic Adventure. There were some really good. I mean, you got 300 comments, so it's kind of you've actually gone and hearted some as well.
Yeah, it does it automatically, if you know.
No, because I noticed it doesn't. You've missed a few.
Yeah, some of them I deliberately haven't.
Yeah, mine. All live stream hearted all comments. Nice job. Pam will pull you up. Pam will pull you, if you've got a comment that hasn't been replied to. He goes out of his way to any channel that I'm a slightly bit involved with or helped out or been it like or whatever. It's just like you see Pam go in a comment, and it annoys me when the comment the owner of the channel, Robbie, hasn't gone and replied back to every comment. But that's small scale. That's not like getting 300 comments on one video. I mean, and they're not you haven't replied to either anyone, so they're all not just me replying 22 times to one comment. So well done.
Yeah, there's too many climbs, guys. Like Stelvio, there's too many. Like that's the issue I'm probably gonna have. Is I'm either gonna run out of money, or I'm gonna run out of days, or I'm gonna run out of fitness. Probably all three, actually.
Yeah. So yeah. Next, what would be your ideal goal then? Like to get I think it was Mick or someone said, yeah, Mick Bockoff. Great effort, great result. Fun to see your nervousness before and while uploading, which I've seen once or once. No, twice, I guess. Like with the hybrid com, where it's just that excitement of you can't hide that look on your face. Oh, and Wedding Cross Climb. Epic Climbs by Ed Laverack, powered by sponsored name and a sponsored name. There must be some company watching and thinking it's a good way to send you around the world, especially after this massive com. So at the end of it hasn't changed your life.
I'm still living in a three-room flat.
Yeah.
Powered by Backpedal.
Yeah. Which are powered by Factor, Zwift. That would be the goal, wouldn't it? To sort of get sort of funded enough to go and make some videos on some of the best climbs before you're too old to go and do them.
Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? Like, I will be too old to do them at some point, and they won't last forever either because, you know, but it's almost secondary, isn't it? Like, if you strip it all back, like with Chris Hall, who's doing this 7 Everests in 7 days up in Stwlan Dam in North Wales. Like, I see myself sort of doing that sort of challengey type thing, but in my space, which is like climbing. So I'm fully aware that like the times won't last forever. But it's trying to do something, you know, alongside that over the coming years, whether that be, you know, raising money or bringing awareness or just like trying to light some fire up, you know, people's backsides to like say, you know, if you really want to do something, why are you working like 90%? No, well, 90%, but like, why are you only putting 40% effort in, sort of thing? So hopefully that's what most people see rather than like seeing the actual time, because it's not going to stand the test of time really, unless, well, I don't know, unless I do 7 watts per kilo for 20 minutes, maybe. But
not many hills you can do an FTP test on.
No, but yeah, I think that is the goal, and Charlie will eventually be my email PR person, and then she can be full-time bottle carrier then.
I think people are a bit disappointed you didn't give her one of the GoPros to footage vlog for the day on the 312. We just had a bit of a chat at the end, and that was it. You know, we didn't.
Well, good point. But I do only have 2 GoPros, and I had them both with me.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying like you shouldn't have had both of them. But like I'm saying, GoPro should sponsor you to give her one, and then just set Charlie's channel up. But it's interesting, isn't it, Charlie coming back to fitness and doing that, and Nat was what me and Nat were watching it. We were a bit late watching it, like about 3 days probably after it loaded. But yeah, I think Nat was a bit like, oh, didn't get to sort of like, we got to hear like, oh, this and that, but you didn't sort of get to feel that you went along with the ride. But your 312 video, you felt that you were, you know, we were sort of half wheeling you all day.
Well, to be fair,
holding your bloody bike while you go for a pee, more like.
yeah. Well, to be fair, Charlie was full of beans when she got back, and I tried to I wanted to give her like 10 minutes or 15 minutes to like voice what she like been holding in like all day, and because we all want to talk about it, and we all want to talk about our own experience of an event. And I thought afterwards, do I make it its own video, but then it would just be us talking, or do I just put it at the end so it's all sort of neat, and you know, because you could have been watching that and then you could have got to the end and gone, what happened to Charlie then? So like, that's why I thought, oh, let's put it at the end, because if people don't want to watch it, they can cut off anyway. But if they do, they get Charlie's side. And I don't know, I'd probably have to ask her, but like she probably wouldn't have got much from the ride anyway, because she's the type of person who, unlike me, like, she will just absorb the ride. She just gets lost in it. She loves like just like the atmosphere and the people. She takes in far more detail than I do. I'm not very good at like enjoying it. I'm too like that sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Well, you got performance. You got performance and creator, haven't you? So like you're like trying to cane it round there, and also thinking I've got to get some footage here, and then she could get to the end of the ride and go, "Oh God, I didn't get any footage, but I had a great time."
Well, that's what I said to her.
Yeah,
She was like, "Oh, I didn't see any of like the scenery on the descent into Sulla because there's people dive bomb me," and I was like, "It's okay, I got it all on the GoPro." So so
maybe
she can
next
watch it
time and
back.
stuff. She does the next if she goes back and does the next one up. Yes, I've seen you uploaded to TikTok as well. Finally, got a TikTok up there.
You seem really disappointed.
No, I'm disappointed you haven't done it sooner. You have one that gets 5,000 looking at some old school, no, I wasn't Di2, whatever it was, electronic gearing, and you have a bit of a run, and then I'm tagging you left, right, and centre, going, people going, who's that climber? Who's that guy you just dropped, Scott? I guess Ed Laverack, Sakalobra KOM.
I'm just giving you all this. I'm giving you all this free
free footage to use. So yeah, it's
you're such a you just like, I bet you're rubbing your hands together when I took the key out because you're like, I got all this old footage of when
I got like 3 times.
Eat dust, Ed Laverack, eat dust.
And you're one of the only people that haven't used that sound yet. I mean, it's yeah. Are you going to start uploading some more?
If I get, well, I should really, because I've got like one of the sexiest bikes in the world, don't I, technically? So
yeah.
Even if I just posted a video of that bike, I'm
yeah.
sure.
But you should. I don't. I think it gets obviously a negative connotations. It's like TikTok. It's like, but what's funny is that all the reels you see are usually just TikToks catching up with the trend from 3 months ago. Like especially some of the influencers you see on there. But like, it's kind of like just get some more content on there. It doesn't have to be like VC message and said, "Oh, yeah, I should have jumped and done it sooner and stuff." And it's just like, just do it. Like, with your power to
comes great responsibility.
Well, yeah, I just think just do it, and you've got the footage. Like, you do it for reels and you do it for stories, and you don't do many like YouTube shorts. But I don't see you just plowing up Sakalobra, and you can upload a 10-minute video. So technically, you could upload Sakalobra in like over 3 videos and just see if that works.
I thought it was a time limit on TikTok.
10 minutes now.
No.
Yeah, which is why YouTube went all out and they went to 3 minutes. TikTok went to 3 minutes, and then they went to 10, and then that's where it's kind of started the war with YouTube. They couldn't just stay in their lanes. Like you trying to get to 1,000-watt sprint again. Like, stick with your lane in the hill climbing. I won't come in and take your glory up Sakalobra, and you don't take my 2,000-watt sprint. But then
but it's still that way though, isn't it? You don't watch it that way.
You can. So I've experienced. I've practiced because I've got a Zwifter. I don't know if you've seen. I've got a Zwifter account. Just my Zwift content doesn't do that well on the main account. So I've just set up a Zwift, but there's quite a few Zwifters on there putting up. There's one that's got 13,000 followers and stuff, and he's a C racer. So it's not the fact that he's doing watts like you would, but I edit mine now so they are tall. I've started filming, as you know, vertically as well. So some of the stuff, just so you don't have to crop it in, but you can crop it. And there's some people that just have this little emoji that says "turn it, twist it," so you can watch it on the side.
You film with that, don't you? Side like that. But with with this mount here, the focus.
The Pro Standard. No, that's the old one. That's 2.0. There's a brand new one out, 3.0 Pro mouth mount. My Amazon link will be below, or yours. Doesn't like that, does it? There we go.
Look at that.
That's nice. You can get the new
flip it. We're gonna little special edition. You cut that out, do you?
Yeah. It's from my CBD oil. Garmin have just dropped a new update to the Varia radar, rear tail light. It's now got a
No, I
camera in
don't. I use exposure. Sorry.
it. What was it? TikTok? I was going to say something else about that. Oh, Saturday. Have you been keeping up with the Backpedal esports racing? No.
What's the best way to say this? No. I feel.
Just because you haven't been DSing.
I feel really bad because. Well, I hope the turbo still works. Like the turbo's like not been used for months. But I've not been on Discord properly for months. So I've not been keeping up with it. And I feel bad, but also it's flipping. I haven't got
all your
time.
sponsors to get back to, mate. You got like you can't.
I just want people to know that I haven't forgotten them, basically.
I think they know they can. Yeah, we know at some point you're going to get to that 100,000. You're just going to 100,000 subscribers. 50. What do you think by the end of the year? Do you think this is going to now boost your channel next? Obviously, you've got like event after event, so you've got. From a content point of view, forget like the actual performance and stuff. From a content point of view, you've got a 1,000-kilometer ride. You've then got obviously what you're going to do in June with the Hout route and everything. Is that June? What July? June? Yeah, June. A couple of weeks, isn't it? Yeah, I could see this springboard with content to jump up to quite a high subscriber base. What do you think by the end of the year then? So let's put in some by the end of the year, what's your YouTube subscribers going to be?
25?
25K?
What do you think?
I think you're going to be more than that. I think you might be pushing. I can't help feel with what you've got coming up, and obviously you've got to do Backpedal weekend pull-up hill climb. Which I'm getting all the TikTokers down for. Beast on a bike might come down for it. Louis, is it Satchel? I don't know his name. Beast on a bike. He's a machine.
Well, that I don't know. Obviously, like, it's taken goodness knows many years to get to 15. It's taken a year to get 5. So
can I pull up your analytics, or do you want to hide your money?
Oh, you can pull it up.
Sure.
Yeah, but I think
I can do it without
it's 8. I think 8,000 in the last year, maybe. So you'd think you could stretch to 10 in a year if it was going to go up. I don't know. You don't know, really, do you?
No, you don't know, and you are just one video away from going crazy, isn't it? So, yeah, so you can see. But hasn't, I mean, obviously it's died off there, and but that's total. But so your best day was 142. If that stays high, I mean, it might go back down to the sort of 10s, 5s, 2s, 5s, and stuff. But another one at the obviously coming, I guess, and whenever you can do the 1,000 thing, they might just push that one up with all the history, all the good stats of your recent videos.
Actually, when did we hit 10? Because I did that 10,000 climb in.
This is like a rolling amount, if you know what I mean. So this is like weekly, so it's not like total.
Was my Cameron Jeffers showed up there?
Yeah.
Very early.
89.
It's more than 89. It's like 370 odd, isn't it? Your hand isn't steady enough.
No, it's shaking. I'm fasting at the moment. I went to the hospital yesterday. I've told Coach Ed. Oh yeah, 5. So that's the week. That's the week. Monthly, say. Oh, monthly. February, you had 545. But also, that's the Cameron Jeffers shout out in 2016, when Cameron Jeffers wasn't at the size he is now.
Crikey, look at that. So what's that first spike? Not the first spike, but the second, the big one. No, across again. Yeah, that's
April. Oh,
April.
that's lockdown. That's your. You went mad on.
Up to Zwift.
Yeah, and live streaming.
So May, even though we're only halfway through.
Yeah, already in May, it's your best month ever for subscriber gain. There's me hiding the money. Sorry, I thought I was being clever then. There you
pennies.
go,
Is pennies considering what you make on TikTok?
Yesterday I made £40.
Yesterday, in one day.
One day I made 40. Well, and that was just the main account. Not to show off, patrons don't leave. Just to be fair, I won't. Switch account. If anyone wants to go and screenshot this, then they can. It's not letting me load it. It's YouTube Studio. Hopefully I like that video. There you go, £13 for a month. That was probably as well. No, that's so no donations. So £13 a month for my YouTube for the last month. We had a few donations for my birthday and stuff like that. So lifetime 700. So is that 2 years monetized? No, 18 months monetized. Most of that come from a few donations for birthday and stuff like that. So where it sort of spiked, but yeah, it just goes to show. This year, from YouTube ad revenue, I earned more on TikTok yesterday than I did in YouTube for the whole year.
Nuts.
Yeah. But the Patreons, like Pam in the comments, aren't a Patreon for my content because I make TikToks. And my affiliates. I was just going to quickly show you the new Varia light before you go. So this is the RCT, so rear camera tail light, I assume, 715. So they've now got camera in it and it will record 1080p. What's good with that is that it will record. It's built into obviously the radar, so it will pick up when the car's behind you. So once the radar fires off, you can have it as a setting that will only record once the radar sets off to record that car. So it should be quite a good little thing. It looks quite chunky on the first look videos and stuff. But Cycleek have been doing it for a while with the camera in the rear. £349. And no, even though I just commented on Wiggles overlook video, they haven't sent me one, unfortunately. But that's why, yeah, it's not surprising, is it really, when I cover up all their branding. 349.
I know. That's how much my Zero shoes cost me.
Yeah. So you're going 20. Let's have stop screen. You're going 25,000, eh? Pick a number. I'll go higher or lower.
Well, you've already said you go higher than 25.
Yeah, but you get to pick a new number.
All right. Well, 37.
Ooh.
So that's double and a bit what I got now.
See, we've seen it can happen.
Because it's doubled. When it was 8,000, it's only taken a year to double.
Yeah.
Although we've got way less than a year until December.
Oh, it's tricky, isn't it? It's
well, lower is my guess.
I would go
32 or something.
Oh,
So
if you
like
go 32, I'll go higher.
Oh, so 35.
I love this. I just thought we'd have a chat about Sakalopra, and now people are just watching us like chat like we would. Let me just share the screen that we would on WhatsApp. Oh, how many do you think? Yeah, Social Blade is incorrect on the earnings. He's earning a lot more than that, as we've just seen.
What is it? Oh yeah. Oh, that's pretty accurate
6,000.
actually.
Yeah, it's really you can go. I think you can go and put your own CPM in and stuff like that, so you can get it quite accurate. But they just do it on an average. Right, let's go for your predicted. Let's see what your predicted future projections are then. I love all this stuff. Ooh, yeah. So it's not got good hopes for you, is it? There.
Yeah, but it doesn't. That's the thing, it doesn't take into
It's like an average
consideration.
of that blow up. Yeah, like that. That was it. So they're saying 20 by the end of the year.
Because I'm already over. I'm already over 15, but it says in 10 days I'll be at 15.
Yeah.
And the rate we're going at the minute, 17,000 will be in 2 months rather than.
Oh, that's 2023 subscribers. 20. Yeah, 20. Oh, so we're within a few days. We're saying they're saying that'll be interesting to come back to. Then they're saying by the end of this year, me and you are both going to hit 20,000 on the Com Shorts channel. So it'll be interesting to come back and see how accurate that is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't think I'm going to hit 20,000 on my main channel for like about 18 years.
How many videos have you uploaded on the main channel?
What was annoying about this before was that when you used to go to user summary, oh well, look at that. That's my earnings.
For
Patreons. It's not. Yeah, that's the annoying thing with shorts because they don't take into that. That's not. It's at least half that. It's going to screw the main channel. That's not me. Come on. 247 uploads
versus 400 odd.
Yeah. On my shorts channel or yours? What was yours?
On your shorts.
Oh yeah, my shorts. Yeah, but then those shorts are just TikToks, aren't they? So they're. This is gonna hurt. Oh.
What?
It's saying I'll get to 10,000 in 2024.
2004.
Yeah. Keep going. Keep the dream alive. I always put them as entertainment as well. There we go.
Yeah, well, it's not entertainment, so I don't know.
It's not, no. Definitely not at the moment. Patreons pay only for the Sunday night evening cult. That is true. Yeah.
What happens on Sunday? Race?
Premiere. Well, no, it didn't happen this week. I was late. And it wasn't. This is one of my filler episodes. As Pam knows, he's just not one of those pulling my leg. He knows. It was one of my filler episodes. But I was going to premiere it, and then we were dog sitting, and Ollie came and picked up the dogs sort of by the time I was about to press premiere. So it does say every Sunday premiere. Yeah, it does say Sunday. I'll give you a premiere. I'll premiere short. I don't mind. It's fine. But yeah, so got 2 patrons coming down to see us on Friday night. Ali and Stephen PGs.
Is it a couple?
Yeah, my only 2 patrons from the same household.
Oh,
they're both patrons.
Maybe they watch on separate TVs or something.
No, they don't. Yeah. So there we go. Well, that was a nice long chat, nice 40-minute chat.
Yeah, well, it was 2 chats, so although
Yeah.
it's already live in it, so we can't cut it in now.
No, because you lose all the chat. The other thing is my fitness plan. Just 3 minutes before we go, we've got a crit fit training plan, haven't we? Which is going to be my journey into, hopefully, unless the doctors tell me not to sprint, which could be a possibility. My road to 2000 watts is going to be on this plan to start with. So once there's lift rate, I've just been in bits. So if you've been looking at my Strava, coach, if you've been looking at my training peaks and thought, oh, he's just gone missing again. Zwift Racing League has literally done me in. Like I can't describe how much I didn't want to get on my bike all last week after the race on Tuesday. So we had the semis on Tuesday, and on Saturday is the final. So Saturday 4 p.m. I think Mick sort of put in a message to say 4 p.m. So that is the last one of the season, and then I think the next season is September. So I can get back into some serious racing, because I have been. You might think I sort of joke when I sort of fall off the bike at the end and can't get up off the floor. I've literally been in bits for the next 3 days, and then don't want to ride my bike, and then it's Tuesday night again. So,
well, I've seen you've been doing it outdoors. You've been Zwifting on a bin.
It's my video. I've got so many good video ideas coming up, Ed. I want to do Can I Win a Zwift Race Outside, which I've told you about before, haven't I?
Yes.
Sponsored by Quadlog.
They're coming handy for me actually this weekend. I was thinking about that, but I just have to.
When are you going to do your blindfold race? Yes, Prez is a Patreon. So yeah, that'll be the second single household couple. Your bike as well. If your bike wants to become a Patreon, I'm happy for that. Sorry, Ed. So when are you going to do the? When are you going to do the?
When it cools off.
Blindfolded Zwift race.
It's too hot. You have to wait until the winter.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna race every night in the winter. You forget how warm it is in the summer. So, right, anything else to plug?
How
are they going to follow you at the weekend? Is there a track or anything?
Well, I'm picking up a track on the day, I think. So I'll try and post a link like on Friday morning, I suppose.
Put it out to TikTok.
Yeah. And
stories, Instagram stories.
Yeah, well, that'll be the main
best way
place, probably. It's going to be quite difficult to do anything other than ride my bike, quite frankly. And take my
nutrition. Oh, right.
So I've become
Press says, do you know the last? Oh, nice. Is that from earlier?
What do you mean?
Are you still in the bib from earlier, are you?
No, I've just got changed.
Did you see VC use the mouth mount in his video? That's a nice colour, isn't it? Oh, I don't know where he's gone now. Sorry, Ed, I've lost you. There you are. Wait there. There you go. Got your Com Orange chair as well. Did you see VC was using the mount? And then on a photo on Instagram, I saw it looked like he was just using the clip that goes into his chest mount in his mouth. Bit bright.
That's so overexposed.
Yeah, you were. Ed overexposed himself. Sakalobra KOM. Yeah.
Overexposed Ed.
Yeah. Do you realise the last 10K of the Giro? I'm a day behind on the Giro, so it's I don't mind. But there we go. Right. Thanks very much for joining me.
Yes. Who? The people or me?
Anyone?
Yeah.
Do you want to? I was going to try and get us. I don't know.
Sign
Do you
off.
want to watch that video in the middle? Other way. No, Ed, other way. Oh God. Bye.